All right, we are live. I'm sorry for the delay. Um, what's going on here? All right, we're doing good. Do we have sound? Let's check everything. Yep, we have sound. Hey, folks, it's Ernie with the Asymmetric Advisor. And today we're going to talk about how you can grow a small account into a large account. Now, we have two different services to do this. We have our Robinhood account where you can take a small amount of money, anything from a 3-figure account to a 4-figure account. We kind of draw the line at that 5 figures because Robinhood is not, I mean, it's a great interface, but when you want to get into some of the more complex stuff, using something like Thinkorswim or Tastyworks or, something like that would be much better for the larger accounts to manage more than, say, a couple of trades at a time. So what we do is in the Robinhood account is we take small amounts of capital and then double, triple it within a short period of time. We then take that capital, those gains, and then move those on into what we call the show, kind of like the Major League Baseball of our trading. And then in the show, we then let them do their stuff and build those up into real income producing accounts. So, and you can do this, I can have as many as 2, 3, 4 of these Robinhood accounts and very easily manage them. Take a few $100s, say $500, and within a short period of time, turn that 500 into 1,000, or turn 1,000 into 2,000, turn 2,000 into 4,000. Conceivably, you could also do 5,000 to 10,000, but that's about the limit that I would try with Robinhood. I would also encourage you, if you do get a Robinhood account, make sure that you turn on two-factor authentication. I've heard that there has been some compromised accounts recently, but they didn't compromise the accounts themselves without the help of the account owners. It was kind of a phishing type of deal where they kind of lured the owners in to give them their relevant information and allowed them to get in there and compromise their accounts. So just watch out for that. So anyways, what is our Robinhood service about? It is all about just handing you the trades that use our proprietary methodology. And our proprietary methodology is what you would learn if you were in our 3D option service. So there are two services. There's the Robinhood service and then the 3D option service. This right here, what you see, asymmetricadvisor.com/options. That is our 3D option service where you will learn this proprietary service. You'll learn the money management, the strategy, how to pick the stocks, and how to make money. And in a bigger way, in a much more controlled way. We're not promising the kind of returns that we get from the Robinhood. The Robinhood is kind of like your seed account. That's where you germinate small amounts of money, turn them into something bigger, put them into the bigger account, and fund that bigger account. That service is strictly an alert service, and with a private Discord. We are on both accounts. We are completely transparent on everything that we do. So we show all of our transaction logs from our live account. We show our P&L, and we distribute our brokerage statement from both and provide that to members so that they can validate that what we're doing is completely on the up and up. These are live accounts. They are not simulated. They are not paper accounts. Everything is live. So you can be assured. Now, let me just give you an idea of what we have here. So this is our current Robinhood account. This one I started with $225, and it's a little over a month old. And in the past month, we've generated 35%. All right. Now, that is typical. At 35, anywhere from 35 to 45% will double your account in anywhere from a month and 3 quarters to 2.5 months. So at a 45% clip, let's do the math here. Let's say I took this say a fictional $200 account, and I did it at 1.4 or 40%. All right, in 2 months, at a 40% per month clip, you would make $392. So if you did say 41%, that's where you would double. A 35%, which I'm at right now, is probably the low end of what we're doing. It'll take you about 2.5 months to double your account, and that's pretty much stable. Now, if you take a look at that equity curve, you'll see how stable and lack of volatility there is in it. We've had, 28 something trades, 26, 27 trades. There have been 2 losers, and those losses have been mitigated so that we didn't get our full loss. Everything else has been a winner, where we've expired most contracts completely worthless, so we collected the entire premium. So last week we had hit a fantastic high, and then unfortunately our second loss in this series gave it all back. But we are now back on those winning ways again. So, and you can see right now we have 2 trades on. We have the SPY ETF and TLT, which is the 20-year bonds. Both of them right now are out of the money. In other words, that means that they're slowly coming down to being worthless, which means that all of that premium is going into our account. So that's where we're at right now with these two trades. I'd say on average we're probably doing about 2 to 5 trades a week. They take approximately 5 minutes to set up. You don't have to be watching your computer all day. You get an alert, you put it on, done. And with that, whatever amount of money you're in, and however you're going to scale that for your size account, we give you those tables and show you how to scale it, whether you start with a $200 account or a $2,000 account, how you can then, what size trade that you have to do to be able to double that within your time frame. And that's the Robinhood account. And the way you get to that is go to asymmetricadvisor.com/Robinhood. Let's get back to the big head here. Now, I like to think of this as kind of maybe the baseball analogy would be the best thing. Major League Baseball is it's a huge organization, but the top teams that are out there, of all the top teams, there's only about 700 players that are the elite of the elite. And then within each organization, they may have 2, 3, 5 different farm teams that they call the minor leagues, AA, AAA. And they develop those players, and they rise to the ranks. Some of them never make it up to the majors, but the ones, whenever there's an opening on that majors, they find somebody for the right spot there. You could have some great players that could easily be major league players, but because if there's not a spot, they don't get there. Well, that's kind of like what we do. We have Robinhood, which is our minor league farm system, where we germinate. The difference is that all of our players make it to the major leagues, which it's a little bit different from. So maybe Major League Baseball isn't the best analogy, but we put good prospects, which would represent maybe a few $100s or a few $1,000s into a Robinhood account, and then we employ our strategy, and then within a month and a half to 2.5 months, you've doubled your money. We then take that money and then move that over into our primary account, where we're employing essentially similar strategies, but at a different level of, or a different goal, right? So one of our strategies over there is focused on generating income. So with like a $5,000 account, I can show you how to generate $1,500 a week. I know that sounds insane, but do it with a high probability of profit. In other words, above 90, maybe 95% probability of profit, and an excellent return on capital. And that has all to do with our proprietary strategy and algorithms that we use to find the best possible thing to trade and how to trade that. And now, one thing I can say is that, we employ something, some very strong money management techniques and capital efficiency. So you're never fully invested. You're always like just really, most of the time, most of your money is sitting in your account. And still we're able to achieve these types of results. So if you're interested in that, that's where we will actually teach you the strategy, teach you the money management, etc. That's this, asymmetricadvisor.com/options. If you want to get into the seed capital, take a 3-figure or a 4-figure account and then double it and double it again. I think once you get beyond 4 figures, you get to 5 figures, you have to start looking at a couple more trades and some assets that are not available in Robinhood. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to employ the type of things that we do in the 3D options world. So Robinhood is really good for taking small accounts, blowing them up quick, taking that money and then putting it into something that is a little bit more robust. I'm not saying Robinhood isn't robust. As a matter of fact, it's my preferred way of doing this, plus the fact that you have zero commissions makes all of this possible. It makes it possible to take a small amount of money, blow it up, and then move it off into something where you have better tools, more access to different types of asset classes. So that's what we do. If you're interested, getting into the Robinhood account, super cheap. It's $14 a month. Just go to asymmetricadvisor.com/Robinhood instead of options. Sign up, and we'll provide you with those alerts. If you want to also join the big boy account, just go to this link right here and sign up. That's where you will actually receive first-class coaching, mentoring, education, and all the alerts and everything that you need to be able to set yourself up to generate an income for the rest of your life, right? With a very high probability of profit and excellent money management and return on capital. Super capital efficient. Now here's the thing. On both accounts, we are completely transparent in everything that we do. We show our members our P&L, our transaction logs, and our brokerage statements every day. They know exactly what's happening. There's no hiding. We don't use simulated accounts. Everything is live, real money accounts, and complete transparency. There is really nobody else that does that unless you want to pay, I don't know, $400 a month or more. And in fact, I can recommend somebody that does that, and he's fantastic. If your account is, much larger and you would prefer to follow this fellow, just ask me, and I can point you to that. I can also show you somebody that also shows their real P&L, and if you're more interested in a much more conservative route. I would still say that we are fairly conservative, but I think the difference is the proprietary strategies that we employ that allow this to happen. So that's it. That's what this is about. This, Robinhood, I think is the way to go for your seed capital. And then my platform of choice after that is Thinkorswim. I can also recommend Tastyworks and other platforms, but Thinkorswim is probably the best one out there for sure. You're interested? Sign up now. We're growing fast. The service has only been around for a couple of months. We've already got, 150 users. Once we start getting up to the 300, 400 mark, I think we're going to cap it there and probably not grow it much beyond there, because I want to provide a level of support that I wouldn't be able to do it with much more people. The Robinhood one, I may grow larger than that. That's a possibility. But that's brand new. I just opened that up last week. And tested it out for the past couple of months. Works fantastic. I mean, here's the proof right here. I've been averaging about 35% a month. All right. Smooth equity curve, hardly any volatility in that equity curve. And as you go further and further out, you'll find it's going to be almost a straight line straight up. With small amount of capital in there, this particular account, we started with $225 a little over a month ago. And you can see there's been plenty of trades and almost all of them winners. And that's what we'll show you. There is no better service when it comes down to strategy, quality of signals or alerts, the trade room that you get, full transparency, support, almost immediate live support, whether it's in Robinhood or in our 3D options service, and complete transparency. We actually show you transaction logs, P&L, and distribute our brokerage statement at the end of each month so you can see and verify everything, soup to nuts. I'm not aware of anybody else that does that. As I said, well, there are some, but much, much larger price services. And if you want to know about them, like I said, let me know. I'd be happy to share their names. I don't get any money for that, by the way. And well, that's about it. That's everything that I wanted to say. It's a good way, because now I'm going to get prepared for our one of our internal video lessons where we'll be talking about the specifics of money management and our strategy with our members. By the way, that is also something that we do every week. And at the end of each week on Saturday, we have a review of that week, a live classroom that comes with the service. And then at the end of each month, we have what we call a retrospective, where we review the entire month and then look at ways that we can improve on the next month coming up. Each month we call like a campaign. If you look back at some of my videos, I talk about that in much more detail. All right, that's it. I want to thank everybody for showing up, and got to get back to work. Make some money. Where's that off button? Oh, we got some questions. So let's see. Alex is saying you should have two-factor authentication for everything, really. Yes, I agree with that 100%. I have two-factor authentication for all my accounts. And typically that second factor, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can do it with like the Google Authenticator, or you can do it with an SMS on your phone, which also works fine. I have been hacked by somebody who was able to acquire my phone number. But if you can lock down your phone account, then that's not possible, which I have done now. But two-factor authentication is the way to go. Now, some people have talked about Robinhood being compromised, and I heard about that last week. Some accounts were compromised, but every single one of those were compromised through a phishing attack. In other words, they figured out a way to convince the owners of those accounts to give them critical pieces of information so that they can then acquire their account. Just don't be that stupid, man. Come on. So Robinhood inherently, its account is a regulated broker. It is not. It is secure, and with two-factor authentication, I think you'll do fine. Let's see. Duke is saying you said double in 3 to 4 months. No, faster than that. I think you can double anywhere from a month and a half to 2.5 months, depending on the relative performance that we employ. And that's that's a very capital efficient way to do it. Never really committing more than, say, 2/3 of your capital at any one time. And depending on what our performance is. At the low end, I'd say 2 months and a week, 2 months and a couple of weeks tops. That's at the 34 to 35% return per month. And as you can see on our current returns, that's where we are right now. Well, earlier, actually, just about an hour ago, we were at 35%, but we'll do well. It looks like the market is going through a little bit of a turmoil here, but not a problem. Both of these will expire worthless. In other words, we'll get all the money into our accounts. Looks like SPY is coming under some pressure right now. But it needs to drop below 342. Where are we with the SPY? Let's find out. Ah, so we're okay. It's threatening it, but we're okay. Now we're going up. We're going down. Where is it going? 343.50 on. All right, so we got another $1.50 to go. So we'll have to look at that and see whether or not it makes sense to roll out or roll down or roll up our trade and go from there. But so far, capital efficiency. That's what it's all about. While this account is, while Spider, if you take a look at our relative positions here, we're actually making money on the TLT, and I wouldn't say we're losing money in the SPY. We went into this with, I think, 7 cents of total credit. We're only down 3 cents, so it's not a big deal. All right. But that's our equity curve. Let's see if there are any more questions here. What is the most you would save for the Robinhood versus the main account? For me, I like putting in a few $100s, maybe $500, doubling in that, and then putting it out. I would put up to $1,000. Like I said, you can do up to 5 figures. I wouldn't do 5 figures. In other words, I wouldn't go over 10,000. I would start with no more than, say, 5,000 in the Robinhood account. Now, the bigger account, you can start with a minimum of 2,000 and then start generating some real income. But with Robinhood, I generally put in a 3-figure amount and then bring that up to a 4-figure amount and then move that into the bigger account. Duke wants to know, will I get tired of winning? No, I won't. But I want to thank everybody for showing up. Time to go make some more money. See ya.